Hey, what's up, Gordon? This is going to be a demo video for you for your Roman Props MK1 with a recessed Neopixel blade that I made for you also. Let's go take a look. Hey, good afternoon, Gordon. We are going to talk about your Roman Props MK1. Thank you for your patience. I actually had this done pretty quick, probably a day after I got it. What took me this long, though, was I had pre-ordered some blade material for you and a couple other people from the custom saber shop that unfortunately got lost in the mail. It is to this day still lost, but I didn't want to believe it was lost until about the 6th day in, where I got no tracking. So I had to reorder some blade material. That stuff got here today. I finished up your recessed blade. So this takes a recessed blade here. You've got a Shadow Foil Props lit PCB. You had sent this first to Austin over at Astoria Workshop for some weathering. So when that happened, you showed me some videos from Austin talking about some different things. First of all, the grub screw. Pretty easy fix. I just went ahead and I retapped it. All right, I stayed with the same thread pitch and everything. I just retapped the hole, put a grub screw in there, and you're good to go. And we'll operate that here in a second. All right, these guys right here, same thing. Modified these a little bit, cut them down, threaded the inside holes so that they went in. You'll notice on this one, there is a little bit of a gap on that guy. That is because this saber comes with 2 of these rings. I only put 1 on for this look, but I left this screw just long enough in case you ever want to go back and you want to put the second one of these on, you have enough thread to bite down on the inner core and still hold that ring there. So that's why that's like that. Ever so slightly longer than the other one to make room for that secondary ring if you ever want it. All right, this is a 2-button setup. So what I've got here is I've got your bubble strip that I had to sand down, which is pretty typical of these builds. You sand them down some of the thickness off the bottom so that it could slide back and forth here, but more importantly so that you can have that up and down feel and get a tactile feel on your switches. So that you don't see the switches because the bubble card is clear, I put a piece of, this is a piece of aluminum shim material. I cut it to size, I slide it in, just like that, right? I slide it in and then I slide this bubble strip over it. Now, the bubble strip is something that you're gonna wanna watch out for. Just kind of take care of this guy. This is more of a shelf piece than anything else. You can't have this too tight or it won't actuate the switches. You have it too loose, it's gonna fall out. So there's a happy medium there, and that's about where that's at, all right? What else we got? You have a Rudy Pando chamber. So to get to that, well, before we get to that, let's talk about the board. I like to just take off the end cap, and that's how I designed this chassis. Come over here with your fingernail, pop this off. This blue ring might come off, that's okay. And that's how you get to everything on your chassis. So your SD card, your micro USB, your kill switch, your 1.3mm recharge port, it's all accessible right here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and flip this guy on. Put that back on, put the cap back on. You can alternatively unscrew this, or you can unscrew the booster and all of that. You can just unscrew the booster and take all this off at once if you like. It's set up for that as well, all right? So if we wanted to come over here, and I've got it screwed down pretty tight, but if we want to just slide that off, pretty simple chassis setup, your board right there, and of course everything right there. And this will slide back on, nice and snug, locks down into place. From here, you can operate the saber because it's turned on now. You can hit power. Auxiliary. If you want to get to your Rudy Pando chamber, you're going to have to take this lever and open it up. That loosens the middle part. Then you take your grenade section, you turn it clockwise until it stops, pull it all the way up, and then turn it counterclockwise. It kind of locks in place. There's a little channel right there that this grub screw just rides in. All right, it's like a C channel. You just can't see the upper portion or the lower. But that is your Rudy Pando chamber with your provided crystal, so it's pulsing when the saber's off or solid when the saber's on. You're not going to get any power to the blade if you have your Rudy Pando chamber open though, because up on the top of the chamber I have a 7-pin PCB, and then right here I have a blade side PCB. So if I were to open this up, which is something you never need to do, but just in case you want to see it, I got that blade side PCB right there. All right. If we take this and we close it, lock it in place, close that lever, now it's nice and tough. You can see that 7-pin PCB right there. All right. So we'll just go ahead and put this back on. Screw this down all the way. If you want to go to the next sound font, just hit auxiliary. There are 2 sound fonts on here for now, as you know, and a copy of the config file on the SD card. So when you want to make some changes, you can do whatever changes you want there. This is your recessed blade. I'm not going to be able to fit this all in camera, but this is about a 34-inch blade. You can see how it's recessed right here. All right, so we'll go ahead, we'll take this and we'll put it in the emitter. I'm gonna hold it there. Lock down the blade retention screw that we rethreaded. Hit power. I'm going to try to show you from one end to the other. And that's your recessed blade. Okay. That's my sound font, red blade. So you have 2 different color blades to play with there. But that blade is lighting up exactly how it should. So again, turn it off. All right, and we'll go ahead and take the blade out of here. Full-length blades can be kind of cumbersome to show off in a demo, but hopefully you got the point there that everything's working. Your saber does come with a metal blade plug. I would not use it until you take a piece of green or black felt, whatever color you want, but put a piece of cloth on the inside of that blade plug before you throw it down here so it doesn't touch the pins. I don't think it will anyway, but it gets very, very close. So I would do it just to have peace of mind. All right, but we'll come back over here when we're done, turn the saber on, and we'll flip it off with the kill switch right here. And it kills power just like it should. All right, but that is basically your Roman Props MK1 with your Rudy Pando chamber and your recessed blade. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks.